Welcome to Let's Talk Healthy Living. I'm Marlene, your host, with Kevin, our producer, and we're at the Alfred Taylor Recreation Center. Today we are talking pickleball. We're here to interview Diana Dowthwaite. She is the president of the Ottawa Pickleball Association. Did you know that pickleball is one of the fastest growing sport in Canada and in the US? The reason why we're here, I want to learn more about it, and I also want you to learn more about it because we want to get playing. Come on, let's go.
Glad you can make it out to North Gore.
Yes, exactly. You know what? I didn't realize it was so far, but I'm glad I came because I'm surprised so many people.
Yeah, no, this is our really popular Wednesday night leagues.
So how long have you been playing pickleball?
Probably around 5 or 6 years. So it kind of was my pre-retirement project.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started playing before I retired. I was with the federal government, and so I wanted to do something that was active and would keep me busy, and then maybe come into it from a volunteer perspective as well. So I started playing, and then you get addicted. And there's a lot of t-shirts to say hooked on pickleball. Yeah. So once I started playing, and then you want to get better, and then you start taking lessons, and then you start going to tournaments, and all of a sudden it becomes your new social circle.
Okay, so how long did it take you to get really, really fabulous at it?
Probably a year or two. I came in with some, I played volleyball for like 35 years. Most people that come into pickleball come in with another sport, which is good and bad, because with volleyball, I came in with court movement and being able to smash, but I have bad habits from volleyball that I always have to break from a pickleball perspective. And you'll see a lot of tennis players or badminton or racquetball that come in and are playing. So I think the best kind of players are probably those that come in and don't have any bad habits to break.
Yes, that's true. We say the pickleball is a combination between badminton, tennis.
Table tennis.
Yes,
You can see when you're playing with certain people that have certain shots, and you're like, you're a badminton player, because they can do these amazing up in the air things, and then other people can do these spins, and so they're probably a table tennis player. And so everybody comes in with something different.
But tell us, for people who don't know what pickleball is about, what's pickleball?
It is a sport that's played on a badminton-sized court. So it's smaller than a tennis court, as you can tell. It's a smaller court, and it's generally played in doubles because it's more social, and it's played with it's called a paddle, not a racket. That was another thing, is everybody's used to a tennis racket, so it's played with a paddle.
Can I
so if you can try that out.
It's light.
It's quite light.
Oh, it's very light.
And that one's heavy. That was a heavier one, You can start as easy as buying something at Canadian Tire or Play It Again Sport for $50. And then once you get into it, the $50 is just not going to be enough. You're going to get addicted, and then you're going to start playing more and more and more. So you play with a paddle, and you play with a wiffle ball.
Okay, can I feel this?
Yeah, and it's a plastic wiffle. Yep, it bounces pretty good. Yeah, and then you should play with goggles, like to protect your eyes, because there are some pretty serious eye injuries. So it's a very simple sport. The beauty of pickleball is that you can learn to play pretty quickly. You know, you can be an absolute beginner, and with the proper lessons, you can learn how to play pickleball within 3 hours. And you can come out and you can be as good as you want to be, and you can get better if that's what you want to do. So, it can be a social, recreational sport, or you can keep progressing and make it into a competitive sport. So it's a sport that's played on a badminton-sized court. It's played with it's called a wiffle ball, and it is got a bizarre scoring system. One of the hardest things to learn in pickleball is the scoring. It's a very bizarre. It's a different scoring system. And once you get into it, and it's a very social game. So you'll see behind us, they're probably playing 12-minute games. In groups of 4. And then when the score is over or the time is over, then you play with a whole brand new group of people. So you meet all these new people, and you play socially, and they're not going to the Olympics. They're just out to be active and have fun. And they love this because they can get better the more you play. And it's incredibly social, and it's fun.
But here I see it's more groups of four, right?
So you play in pairs of 2.
So pairs of 2.
Yeah, you can play singles or you play doubles.
So what do you need? Because I brought my little my tennis
if you want to look cool, you've got the tennis skirt on. That's good. But all you really need is solid footwear.
Okay, right.
It doesn't have to be a tennis court wear or something. It's just enough that's not going to be too slippery because there's a lot of lateral movement in it.
So these wouldn't be good at
They're
all,
probably
right?
not. They're slippery, right?
Yeah,
so you need something because there is movement side to side and up and back. So you need solid footwear. You need a paddle, and it can be your $50 paddle or it can be your $300 or $400 paddle. You need a ball that's probably $4, $5. And then you can go buy some goggles for $8 at Giant Tiger and pop the lenses out, and then you've got some goggles. So that's all you need to play.
Because I'm thinking tennis.
It's faster than tennis.
You're
really close. Like if you can see when you're playing, maybe at a higher level, you're playing close. And so balls can come at you pretty fast, and if your reaction time. So it is. I have been hit in the eyes for sure, and this is key.
So what's the difference between, you're saying a $50 paddle compared to a $250 paddle?
It would be your touch. It would be this, the contact of it, and there's graphite, and there's all these different types of paddles. It's going to be the touch of the ball on here, and your control.
So if I've got a $50 paddle and
it's a good to start with. And it's good.
Okay, so if I'm playing against someone with a $250 paddle, they'll have an advantage, right?
Not necessarily.
No,
because skill comes into it as well.
In terms of the health benefits.
When I started playing pickleball, and almost everybody has this level of addiction that comes, and you start playing, and then all of a sudden my clothes weren't fitting me anymore. I just get thinner, and I wasn't even doing anything different. I wasn't eating any less, but you're just active, and you can play pickleball for hours. I'll come out and play for 3 hours, and then I might go out and play again for another 3 hours in the day. So it's about being fit and being active and being social. In Canada, obviously, in Ottawa, there's a huge indoor element. So we play outdoors usually around May to September. And then we play indoors for the other
rest
parts
of the
year.
season. But in terms of the cost,
outdoor is relatively cheap if you join one of the tennis clubs that offer pickleball. So, for instance, our registration here is probably like $120 for the season, and that gives you unlimited play for months. So that's like your cheapest game in town. For sure. And then when you want to play indoors, it is definitely more expensive because there's less places to play and it's more expensive.
But given the popularity of pickleball, do you think there'll be more courts available indoors and outdoors?
That's the biggest challenge probably facing pickleball is the boom and the popularity of the sport. Like it is so popular right now that the facilities and the infrastructure hasn't kept up with the popularity. So there's definitely, I'm the president of the Ottawa Pickleball Association, which does indoor play. So we play in schools across the city from September till the end of May. And we are capped at our membership. We can't accommodate any more members because we just don't have enough facilities to put our members in. And every single day I get requests, can I join? So the biggest challenge facing pickleball is there's not enough places to play. And that's indoors and outdoors. So indoors, we're maxed out at the Ottawa Pickleball Association. If you want to play in community centers indoors, they have a court booking system that you have to do. And at 9 o'clock, you have to book your courts. And at 9:01, they're gone. And so there's very limited places to play indoors. Outdoors, most of the clubs have waiting lists for their memberships, but there are community courts that a lot of people play at outside.
So what advice would you give someone who would like to start playing pickleball?
In the wintertime, there are community centers that offer learn to play programs. You need to learn the scoring system and you need to learn, just how to play the basics. And so that's what I would always encourage. And then it would be good to be able to meet some people, and then you can start maybe organizing some play.
I'm wondering, can I test it out? Do you have another paddle?
I do have another paddle, and I have our skills coordinator with the Ottawa Pickleball Association, Paul, and he teaches all our clinics with Manatip. Paul, do you want to come over? Paul is our skills coordinator with the Ottawa Pickleball Association. He can take you from a brand new player to being able to play, and he runs like learn to play clinics. In 3 hours, you're out there and you're good. You're playing and you're good to go.
What is the difference, for example, from a beginner to advance? What are kind of the skills that you'd be looking for?
Generally, when you begin, you tend to hit the ball a lot harder, and so the ball pops up a lot higher, and of course it gets easily smashed back down. So as you get better, you start to learn to soften your shots and kind of throw the ball over the net a little. Keep the ball a lot lower and get a lot more rallies. Then it becomes a very strategic game that way. You move players around and try to create openings or try to get them to pop the ball up so you can put it away. I guess that's the big difference. In beginners, you're really just focusing, I want to get the ball over the net. 2 or 3 balls and you're happy. And then after a little while, you're going to say, well, I want to get better. So you start to learn to soften your game and get slower shots and easier shots and wait for the hard ones, the high ones that you can put away. And that's what happens now with younger people starting. And we've had some, even with the Ottawa Pickleball Association, we have some younger people come, don't mind playing with old people. So they learn the game, and if you've been playing a while, then you do pick up that strategy, where to put the ball and move people around the court.
As the popularity has increased and more players, we're starting to see more younger players enter pickleball. You're starting to see the sport change and evolve. 2 things. One is being active and being fit, so says the t-shirt, but being healthy and being fit and moving, being outside and meeting new people and being social. I think those 2, they all come together. So that's why it's so popular. It's not just because it's fun to play pickleball. It's fun to come out, and it's fun to have banter and trash talk and just start meeting all these new people, and you just start having a whole new social circle that you didn't have before, and you're playing this wonderful sport, and you're getting better, and you've got a new social circle of friends.
I'm convinced. I think I'm definitely going to test it out. I'm hoping some of our viewers will do that as well. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Paul. All right. Good. Can I test it out?
Let's take time.